Well, we want to turn now to developing news that we're following. Coming in late tonight, people reacting online to news that the Department of Justice is threatening criminal charges against the head of the Federal Reserve.
We are already seeing reaction from investors in stock market futures. NBC4's Camilla Rambaldi monitoring the very latest from our newsroom. Camilla.
Jonathan and Kathy, these subpoenas from federal prosecutors, according to Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, are centered around his Senate testimony back in June about the renovation of Federal Reserve office buildings. And it's important to note that the Trump administration has been putting months of pressure on Powell to cut interest rates. Now, you're looking at video of Powell here and President Trump on a tour of those renovations back in July. Earlier today, Powell posted a video to X responding to the subpoenas, calling the action unprecedented. He says the move has nothing to do with the renovation and rather the Trump administration's control over interest rates. Take a listen.
I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
President Trump spoke exclusively to NBC News tonight. He denied any knowledge of the DOJ investigation, saying in part, quote, "I don't know anything about it, but he's certainly not very good at the Fed and he's not very good at building buildings." He was then asked about Powell's claim that this is his way of pressuring the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates. President Trump said, quote, "No, I wouldn't even think of doing it that way. What should pressure him is the fact that rates are far too high. That's the only pressure he's got," end quote. Now, last year, interest rates were cut by the Fed 3 times. Powell has served as Federal Reserve Chair under 4 administrations. His chair term ends in May, and the futures in all 3 major stock indices are down ahead of tomorrow's open. That's the latest from the newsroom tonight. Camilla Rambaldi, NBC4 News.